Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the match preview of AC Milan against Lazio. Matchup will be played this Sunday, March 20th at 8:45 p.m. Italian time at the San Siro. A very big game for both of these teams. But before I get started, I would like to apologize for not being able to post the match review after Chievo against Milan last weekend. I had a pretty big weekend. Wasn't able to really watch the match, just watch bits and pieces of it. Therefore, I didn't think it was appropriate to post a match review on that with very little views or thoughts. But this weekend we are back, and obviously, along with this match preview, we'll be able to post the other videos as well for Milan Lazio. But getting back to this match, guys. First of all, speaking about Milan, we weren't able to win the past two games. First of all, losing against Sassuolo 2-0 2 weeks ago. And last week, of course, having to settle for that 0-0 boring, dull, scoreless draw with very little emotions. And obviously, the fans weren't the only ones that were disappointed. There were also certain players that had to show their disappointment to the media. And speaking about Abbiati and Abate that came out publicly to speak about certain players. And obviously, they said that certain players have to give more and they can't go against Sinisa's commands or really talk against them. They have to give more if Milan is to reach the Europa League by the very least, because I think the Champions League is out of the question. I think almost everyone could agree on that. Roma and Napoli just flying too high right now. But the Europa League is the objective that Milan really have to go for. Obviously, some people are still thinking that no matter what, Milan have qualified for the Europa League due to us actually reaching the Coppa Italia final. But that's not the case, because the sixth place in the Serie A is the team that's going to get the final Europa League spot. And there's still teams like Sassuolo and actually Lazio which are behind us. Now, Lazio are 7 points behind us, and to many people that may seem like a lot of points. But Lazio is one of those random teams where they could just get a series of wins or just really get a series of losses. It's a very inconstant team, a very improbable team, a team that you can't really know what type of result they're gonna get on any given day. So we have to do our homework. We have to actually win this match against Lazio. I think their chances will pretty much go to waste if we beat them at the San Siro. So we have to get the job done and really get them out of the question for the Europa League. Obviously, Lazio just got eliminated from the Europa League yesterday, where they lost against Sparta Prague at the Olimpico, and it was a very disappointing result for them as they got knocked out of the competition, and they were the last Italian team in it, and will be going on forward with no Italian teams. So, pretty embarrassing there for Lazio to lose by such a large margin at home. But they're going to want to redeem themselves at the San Siro against Milan. Now, speaking about formations, last week against Chievo, there were many players that really weren't playing in recent weeks, and they just had to come on. And speaking about Poli, there were also sudden changes like Donnarumma's injury, where Abbiati had to replace him after, 16, 20 minutes. Speaking about this weekend's probable starting 11. We'll see some players coming back as well as some changes. So let's take a look at it. Milan will once again go with this 4-4-2. Abbiati will be starting in net. Donnarumma, as I mentioned before, he got injured last game. But he's fine. The only problem now is that he's dealing with the flu. Therefore, he hasn't been training in recent days. And Abbiati is expected to start instead. As for the defense, Abate, Zapata, Romagnoli, and Antonelli are all expected to start. Pretty decent back four. For the midfield, we'll see Onda on the right, Montolivo returning in the middle. They're playing alongside Bertolacci and Bonaventura on the left. Bertolacci, once again, really hasn't shown what he's worth. I mean, that 20 million price tag hasn't been really served to justice by Bertolacci. Quite unlucky last game there to hit the bar, but I mean, we're all expecting more from him altogether. So let's see if this is the right game for him. I recall that Bertolacci actually scored in the first time we played Lazio this season, where we won 3-1 at the Olimpico. So maybe could he have another game like that? We'll see. Up front, we'll see Luis Adriano returning with Bacca, a pairing that really we haven't seen a lot in recent weeks, also due to Luis Adriano's injury. Last game he played for half an hour but wasn't really able to show much. So we'll see how he works this time with Bacca. Let's hope for some positive signs. Obviously, Luis Adriano always a very hard-working player, and Bacca needs to return to his goal-scoring ways. So let's see if he's able to do that in this match. Pretty decent lineup altogether. I mean, honestly, I don't think we should definitely have some problems with Lazio. In recent games against them, we actually did quite well. As I mentioned before, that 3-1 at the Olimpico. I recall last year where we actually beat them in the opening match of the season. So I think that we can get the job done, and we need to get the job done really, because as I said, nothing is for certain yet, and with under 10 games remaining, almost every game needs to be a win here, at least so that we could secure a spot in Europe next season. So that wraps up my match preview, guys, for AC Milan against Lazio. Once again, it will be played on Sunday, March 20th at 8:45 p.m. Italian time. I'll see you guys then for the match review. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything related to AC Milan. And I'll see you guys later. This has been Gio signing off. And as always, Forza Milan.